Greetings VR fans young and old. Today we're going to be discussing Echo Arena and its official shutdown coming soon. Now unfortunately I do not personally know anybody that works at the company, nor do I myself, but as somebody who's been playing video games all my life and from someone who has a master's in the business field, I do want to try to give the best speculation that I can because I think I may know the reason why this is happening. But first off, let me go through with you the cold hard facts about what's going on just so you know what is going to eventually happen with this shutdown. echovr will continue to run until August 1st, 2023 at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in the US. Now, that is their language that they use, that echovr will continue to run until this cutoff, which means it's not just the servers, it is the entire game itself. Now, I could be proven wrong here, but based off of the language that they've used in their own published article, it seems as though you will not be able to access the game even in a single player format in case you wanted to pop in there and play against some bots for the nostalgia. And for any players that are going to be logging into the game recently, they're going to have a last farewell by giving everybody the currently available cosmetics from seasons 1 through 6. So as of the announcement yesterday, if you log on and play any game inside Echo Arena, you'll receive all of the chassis boosters and bracer sets, all the chassis variants, all 3D rewards from the Echo Passes, all Echo Shop items including the starter bundle, and all previous event rewards. But any items that are claimed as legendary or the VRML awards are not available to get. So that's basically the cold hard facts of the situation, is that Echo Arena and Echo Combat are officially shutting down as of August 1st, and all the cosmetics are available to get from the previous seasons. Now let's move on to the why. Why is this happening? Why is Echo Arena shutting down? Like many of you starting in the metaverse, my first product was an Oculus brand product. I originally started with the Oculus Rift. So like many of you, I created some fond memories over the years, met some great people. Sure, there were some bad times here and there, but Echo Arena was always there. It was always a fun game to play from time to time, have some laughs in and meet some new people. And so it leaves one to ponder the question, why would they get rid of a fun game that's been a staple for so many years, has a huge growing community with plenty of different leagues in there that all revolve around there, plenty of content creators that only create Echo content? Why would they get rid of an immensely popular game? And that's where the business side tunes into this conversation. It could actually be profitable for them to stop funding Echo Arena. For those of you that adopted VR early on like myself, you may remember the good old year of 2016. Sure, nowadays there are other brands of headsets that people can choose from. There's a wide variety of PC VR headsets, and of course standalone is also now an option. All the bells and whistles of resolution, compatibility, and flexibility with these headsets each offer their own qualities to be discussed whenever you're shopping for your VR headset. However, whenever I was shopping for my headset, there was really only two major players that people ever really considered. You could either get the Oculus Rift CV1, the first Oculus Rift brand before the Rift S, or you could get the HTC Vive. Each one, of course, offering their own benefits and drawbacks. However, both of them were trying to get above each other. Both of them wanted to be the #1 headset for people to buy, so they had to get creative. It's easy to see how successful Xbox and PlayStation have become from offering their own exclusives to where you have to get their console in order to get their game, and Oculus wanted to be able to follow in their footsteps. Therefore, Echo Arena was born, a free game where all you had to do, the only requirement, was to have an Oculus brand product. The years of dangling Master Chief in front of gamers to try to persuade them to buy the Xbox worked out for Microsoft, so Oculus thought it might work for them in forms of titles like Echo Arena and making more Oculus exclusives down the road. Echo Arena was born and Oculus players young and old, far and wide, were all logging in to be able to play Echo Arena, the zero-gravity disc-throwing game. Leagues and communities were being formed from the ground up from dedicated players that wanted to continue to play the game. Huge tournaments were being formed for tens of thousands of dollars for gamers to be able to compete to win the glory in the metaverse. And even kids who had never touched a piece of technology like this before were able to log into a game and try something out for free and have a fun new experience. However, while the game is popular and widely loved, I think it is the popularity of the Meta brand itself that is going to kill Echo Arena. It's no secret that Oculus, or some of you may know it, Meta, is dominating the VR marketplace. Even pulling up data from Steam to see what users use the most on Steam, you can see that Oculus has 54.43% of the entire VR users. And that's those that are just registered on Steam. That's not even including all the people that are on Oculus Quest standalone with no access to Steam VR. Even as of midway through last year, the Quest 2 is still outselling the Xbox. And this type of popularity is exactly what I believe is killing Echo Arena. The Quest has decimated the VR marketplace, and so they really don't need to offer things like this, free games to entice people to get a Quest rather than a different product. People are still buying the Quest purely because it is the most convenient, most affordable standalone headset currently. And with Oculus embedding its popularity far into the VR marketplace as it's been doing, it doesn't seem as though they feel threatened by other standalone headsets that are coming out. For example, the Vive XR Elite. Because the fact that it's going to be around $1,000, Meta realizes that they still have a foothold with being the least expensive option. Even with things like the Pico coming out, even if it were to be the price of a Quest 2 or around the price of a Quest 2, it's going to be similar to an iPhone type situation. And what I mean by that is whenever people are trying to shop for phones and phone brands, you know, you always have your friends that are like, oh, you should get an iPhone, that way you can have FaceTime with me, you can message me on iMessage. It starts that free marketing by word of mouth, where just because your friend has a certain brand of something, you should have that brand too. Quest has embedded itself inside the VR marketplace by being the most popular headset, to where now all the other users are going to freely market this headset for them. That, and they've created an entire VR generation that is going to be reliant on the Meta brand. For example, if a new headset were to come out tomorrow and it was actually better than the Quest, would you consider getting that headset instead, knowing that if you switch headsets, you will lose all of your games that are exclusive to being on that Quest store? Because anything you buy there is going to stay there. If you buy a game on Xbox, it's not going to magically just be on your PlayStation. So I guess in a nutshell, that's what I'm trying to say about Echo, is that it is popular, it is a great game to be able to play, but it was birthed from trying to create competition that isn't really there anymore. Quest has embedded itself and become so popular that it really doesn't have a lot of competition anymore. So because that competition is gone and they've already won, they're already the kingpins, they really don't see it from a business perspective to keep a free game. They don't see it from a business perspective to continue to make updates, continue to make cosmetics. Even if they are buyable, it is entirely possible that the amount of people that buy them isn't enough to be able to keep up with the maintenance that they have to have for the servers and the updates and the customer service complaints from all the racist Echo players that we all know that are in there from time to time. Keeping people on payroll to be able to maintain their Discord server and their other social media, things like that. It could be possible that the revenue coming in just wasn't as much as the revenue going out, and it could have been like this for quite some time. So with a heavy heart, it looks like this might be farewell to Echo Arena. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Was I able to explain this properly? Do you think I may be right in my assumption about what's happening with this game? I would love to hear your thoughts. Unfortunately, there isn't any other games that are ever going to be exactly like Echo, but in case you are looking for some new free games to play, I'll be leaving a link right here, playing in one of the boxes of my top 10 free Quest games to be able to play in case you want something new to be able to try out, since Echo will be leaving us very soon. I'll also be leaving my most recent comedy compilation over here playing in the corner of me being able to use a soundboard and a haptics vest where I can actually feel getting hit inside Echo Arena playing in the corner as well. I hope all of you have a phenomenal day, and I hope to see you in the next one.